Donald Trump has unexpectedly abandoned Washington, D.C. He's flying out right now, apparently to head to Florida. He says he needs some executive time. And this is very odd because he's supposed to attend the White House Correspondents Dinner on Saturday evening, but he just jetted out of the White House, didn't really give anybody notice. If you look at his calendar, it says he needs executive time. People are speculating maybe he's doing a fundraiser out there. There's a crypto conference taking place in Florida. Is he going to Mar-a-Lago on the taxpayer dime to go golfing? Yet again, is that like his therapy as he's deeply stressed out and panicking over the fact that Iran refuses to give in to his threats? And so you see him right here boarding Air Force One. Again, not looking very healthy at all. We've commented on his physical and cognitive decline. I mean, it's getting really, really bad. And right as he was boarding Air Force One, he started posting these like very racist memes over and over again. I mean, real sickening stuff. He posts this. I mean, look, I'm no Candace Owens fan. I'll be clear about that. But I mean, just posting these racist images of Candace Owens and then making racist statements about Hakeem Jeffries is really just atrocious human being conduct. This is what he posted. Candace Owens' stock, which was never very high, has fallen a long way. Her attack on the First Lady of France is despicable. I believe in this case, without verification, she is an extremely low IQ individual. And he posts this bizarre image that says vile person of the year, Time magazine, Candace Owens lies, 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 uses rich white men, it says, protects sex offenders, 0% fact check ratio at all credible fact checking sites. By the way, I mean, Donald Trump's on audio attacking French President Emmanuel Macron and Macron's wife himself. And again, I think it's vile that Candace Owens would defame Macron like that. But I mean, just posting this image right now as he's jetting out of DC is just horrible. Then Donald Trump posts this. And by the way, when he says low IQ, that's his insult to all black people. He calls black people low IQ over and over again. It's not a dog whistle. It's just him being a racist. The racist piece of you-know-what that he is. Then he posts the following about Hakeem Jeffries. Donald Trump goes, Hakeem high-tax Jeffries is a low IQ individual who is not smart enough to be running the Democrat Party and certainly not smart enough to be involved in running the United States of America. It's people like this who almost destroyed our nation with their high-tax open border policies. In the future, Hakeem, a fine American name, will be forever known as high tax. Maximum warfare everywhere all the time. Hakeem Jeffries. Yeah, he did say that he's going to fight you and he's going to, when you cheat and you try to rig election maps, Hakeem Jeffries says he's going to stand up to you and engage in maximum warfare everywhere all the time to stand up to you. And I think you're going to be called Speaker Jeffries soon. By the way, while all of that's going on, what's happening in Iran right now and what statements are coming out of Iran? Iran denies seeking any U.S. talks. It's saying any statement from the White House that Iran wants to meet with the United States and Pakistan is entirely false. Iran has made no request for direct talks with the United States, according to Tasneem. Instead, U.S. officials have been seeking renewed negotiations through Pakistani intermediaries, and Iran's like, we don't want to meet with you unless and until you remove the naval blockade from the Persian Gulf and stop threatening us and agree to negotiate within the 10-point negotiating framework. Iran's foreign ministry spokesperson on behalf of Foreign Minister Araghchi says, no meeting is planned to take place between Iran and the United States. Iran's observations would be conveyed to Pakistan, and Foreign Minister Araghchi of Iran previously had meetings with Pakistan, and now Donald Trump's like, well, I want to have Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner go out there. You guys meet as well. You all meet with Pakistan as well. And like the foreign minister of Iran's like, dude, what are you talking about? We don't want to meet with you at all. I mean, how embarrassing is that as Donald Trump, I guess out of pressure, as he's feeling the heat, he's leaving Washington. Is he going to fly back tomorrow now for the White House Correspondents Dinner? He's also posting this coming soon, and it's the reflecting pool at the Lincoln Memorial coming soon. And then he posts, this is the reflecting pool at the Lincoln Memorial, 2,500 feet at length. Okay, then he posts this. The first time Lafayette Park fountains opposite the White House have worked in decades. My great honor to have funded the project and many others and helped Donald J. Trump. I mean, you're taking credit for these two fountains at Lafayette Park. What? Then he posts this. This is the reflecting, I'm telling you, these are real posts that he's making right now. This is the reflecting pole at the Lincoln Memorial, 2,500 feet, the length of the tallest building in the world, starting the final phase of renovation that was supposed to cost $301 million and take 3 years, and was instead done with the help of the Secretary of the Interior, Doug Burgum, and his entire department, and a much better final result. $2 million in 1 week. Again, post after post after post. Then he posts the following. People and companies that have taken advantage of our country for decades because of the horrible and ridiculous United States Supreme Court decision on tariffs are now supposed to be given back $159 billion. All they had to do was one little half sentence. Quote, that the United States does not have to pay back monies that were already paid, and our country would be $159 billion richer. That's more than most countries are worth. Think of it. Just one half sentence, and we would have saved $159 billion. Couldn't they have done that for our nation? Donald J. Trump. How about the fact that you stole $159 billion by breaking the law and seizing funds by unlawful tariffs against the world, which are taxes on importers, which were passed on to consumers, which have increased inflation and which have caused devastating impacts here on the United States. Now, while Donald Trump is fleeing Washington, D.C. abruptly, Melania Trump is now posting a video of herself building White House replica beehives. This is a real video that they're posting now on the White House account. Play this clip. We're also learning about as well, Michael Grinbaum reported Donald Trump held a closed-door dinner last night with David Ellison and top CBS personnel. Trump sat with Ellison, Barry Weiss, Melania, and Paramount's chief legal officer, among others. Several CBS journalists attended, including Norah O'Donnell. Donald Trump spoke for nearly an hour. So this is what's going on, these collusive meetings between Trump and his new regime media right before the White House Correspondents Dinner. The whole point of the White House Correspondents Dinner was supposed to be like funny, self-deprecating, celebrating the freedom of the press, the First Amendment, the fact that the press could criticize and mock the president and people could have, jokes. That's why there was comedians. Now there's no comedian at the White House Correspondent Dinner. And instead it's being used for Donald Trump to collude apparently with state regime news in order to get out his propaganda as he is caused this horrific situation with Iran now controlling the Strait of Hormuz and America being utterly screwed. And as the Iranian state media points out, a renewed surge in oil prices now above $105. Brent crude oil prices, which dropped an hour following false reports from U.S. media about Iran negotiations, have now risen back above $105 after the falsehoods were exposed. MeidasTouch Network Washington, D.C. correspondent Scott MacFarlane was on Capitol Hill today, and he was speaking with CNN about, what this White House Correspondents' Dinner is going to be like, and, the contrast between the American people suffering right now and, this lavish event. But who even knows if Donald Trump's going to be attending it at this point, right? I mean, Donald Trump apparently is running away right now to Florida, at least for a day. We'll see if he returns. But what a waste of our taxpayer funds regardless. Here, let's play this clip.
We're joined now by Scott MacFarlane. He's the chief Washington correspondent for the MeidasTouch Network. Scott, thanks for joining us to talk about this.
Thank you.
What are you seeing in these consumer sentiment numbers?
I see what candidates who are running for office are saying and what they're writing. And it's clear they're getting some feedback, either from the door knocking or the polling, that they got to drive a message on pricing. Start there, finish there. It's here in Washington. It's like we're driving down the road 100 miles an hour without noticing the engine light is on or the brakes are iffy, because they're fighting over, well, seemingly everything. They're having this ornate dinner tomorrow night, black tie, and the constituents are concerned about data centers. They're concerned about electric costs. They're concerned about their cars. And there is a myopia that is infecting this whole town that people don't recognize. That's where the voters are. Congress and the administration don't seem to be there too.
You'll recall as well earlier today, Caroline Leavitt claimed that Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner were heading to Pakistan in order to have direct talks with the Iranian delegation, which the Iranian delegation denies that they ever want to have these conversations in the first place. But just think about the dynamic of it right here, how embarrassing this is for the United States, that the U.S. is claiming negotiations and Iran is publicly saying, we're not speaking to you. What are you talking? We're not having these negotiations with you. Here's what Caroline Leavitt had to say earlier. Let's play this clip.
So can you confirm that Jared Kushner and Steve Witkoff are headed to Islamabad to meet with the foreign minister, Araghchi?
Well, thank you, John, for having me. It's great to be with you as always. And yes, I can confirm Special Envoy Witkoff and Jared Kushner will be off to Pakistan again tomorrow morning to engage in talks, direct talks intermediated by the Pakistanis, who have been incredible friends and mediators throughout this entire process, with representatives from the Iranian delegation. Look, the Iranians reached out, as the president called on them to do, and asked for this in-person conversation. So the president is dispatching Steve and Jared to go hear what they have to say. And we're hopeful that it will be a productive conversation and hopefully move the ball forward towards a deal.
And just so you can remember, when Donald Trump, it's just like Donald Trump's attacking Candace Owens and saying one of the things is that I don't like the way she talked about Macron's wife. Well, here was what Donald Trump said a little bit ago about Macron and Macron's wife. Here, play this clip.
So he gets off, probably says, man, that was easier than I thought. Then I call up France, Macron, whose wife treats him extremely badly. And he's still recovering from the right to the jaw. And I say, Emmanuel, we'd love to have some help in the Gulf, even though we're setting records and knocking out bad people and knocking out ballistic missiles. Would love to have some help. If you could you please send ships immediately? No. We cannot do that, Donald. We can do that after the war is won. I said, no, I don't need after the war is won, Emmanuel. Many of them said, we'll be there after the war is completed. And so I learned about NATO.
Anyway, there you have it, folks. Let me know what you think. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 7 million subscribers. Thanks, everybody, for watching.
Love this video? Support independent media and unlock exclusive content, ad-free videos, and custom emojis by becoming a paid member of our YouTube channel today. You can also gift memberships to others. Let's keep growing together.